All right, we got another playoff episode of the Empty Netters podcast, but before we get into all the games, we got to hear from our presenting sponsor, Shift Hockey. Shift Hockey, guys, we've talked about it a million times at this point, and it still never gets old because they are changing the game in the hockey stick market. Shift Hockey and the guys over there went out and they found the best material, the best suppliers, and they are bringing you a top-notch quality stick, just like the ones the guys in the show use, for half the price. And the best part about this twig is it looks sick as hell. It's the most unique, styled design stick. You can see it right over CP's shoulder right there if you're watching right now. And these guys just know how to make a twig. Let me tell you what.
I'm actually getting sick and tired of telling stories about how many people are talking to me about Shift, how much I like Shift. Buy a stick. Stop being an idiot. I have no more stories for you. The stick is fucking awesome. It looks awesome. It is at a great price point. Buy a stick. It's that simple.
It's that simple. It is the best bang for your buck you can get in the stick market right now. And we're not just saying that, guys. That's kind of something that I always like to drive home. This is not a generic ad read. This is not something we're doing just because they're a brand partner. No, this is something we believe in and something we use. We both have Shift sticks. We both love these twigs. They're unbelievable quality. They've got great performance. They look awesome. It's a no-brainer. So go to shifthockey.com/netters and then pump in that promo code netters at checkout. That's NETTERS. You're going to save another 10%. Any level you play. If you're a parent supporting your kids in youth hockey, if you're in high school, if you're in juniors, if you're in college, this is the stick that you need because it's going to save you a ton of money and still give you the best performance possible. Shift Hockey, do it. All right, baby. Let's get back into this shit. We got games. We've got action going on. We are currently watching the Bolts Maple Leafs and the Rags Devils. 2 one-goal games going on right now. New Jersey's currently on the power play. This is fucking nuts. We got to talk right into these series. Let's start with Isles Canes.
Yeah, so we're gonna start. We're gonna get to these series, obviously.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna do
to
these,
maximize how much happened, but
gonna
be
do
ready
these
for
ones last.
interruptions.
Yeah.
Be ready for interruptions if anything happens.
Yeah. We got producer Brian on the sticks right now, and he is stressing because the Rangers are currently down 1-0 to the Devils.
Stressing hard. The first goal happened so fast, I didn't even see it. I was drinking my Nesquik.
What flavor?
Just regular chocolate. The protein one.
Hey, let's go.
Is that
Get them
Nesquik?
gains in.
Is that Nesquik with a little rum in it?
No, you know me.
You hang out with Rumpelstiltskin?
Dude.
Does everyone know that was a Big Daddy joke?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But it's Yoo-hoo.
It's Yoo-hoo, but I still wanted the joke.
It still worked.
Yeah.
I liked it. Bri, how was that like Fruit Loops drink you had?
Oh, it was god awful. Oh my god.
Did you see that shit?
No, I don't know.
I think it was last weekend.
Well, every day I go down to the liquor store there and I get a drink, and they got some pretty exotic stuff there. And the Fruit Loops cereal milk one, I was like, I'm a big cereal guy, so I'm like, I gotta try it. And it was just terrible.
Top 3 cereals right now.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
CT Crunch, obviously one.
Crave. People are sleeping on Crave. We did a cereal draft, and people were sleeping on it.
People do sleep on Crave, but that's a fucking lunatic. Well, if it's your top 3, it's your top 3. But if you were doing the draft and you used a high pick on that, oh my god, post by the fucking Bolts. If you used one of your top picks on Crave, that's a huge mistake. That's got to be a sleeper pick.
It was a sleeper, like 4th round pick.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then third one, maybe just like classic, like Frosted Flakes. Never hurt nobody. Or Pops. I'm a big Pops guy.
Like, what are Pops? Do I not know Pops?
Come on, like yellow box, like inflated corn puffs.
Yeah, they're like
Devil's Goal.
Yeah, they got.
Oh fuck, Devils, Brian.
I don't like that at all.
This is fucking brutal, dude. At least I was distracted.
I cannot believe that, Lightning.
I'm gonna be honest with you, buddy. That's a kind of a crazy top. You had me with CT Crunch, but that's a wild top 3.
Honestly, you kind of put me on the spot, so I don't want to like have too much dead air. But
okay, we won't.
hey, I'll come back later.
We won't print those picks. If one pops into your head,
think.
like if Reese's Puffs pop into your head, I wouldn't mind if you slid those in. Okay. Holy shit! The Devils just scored. They're up 2-0. Let's see here. Is that Holla?
Yeah, it was.
Holla in front with the tip right between the fucking wickets of Shesty.
Okay, we're starting with Canes, Islanders. The Islanders proved me wrong. I said I was yawning at the series. I thought it was dead.
Yep.
They did something that is very tough to do. They beat the Hurricanes in Carolina. Going back the last 2 playoffs, the Canes are 9-1 at home. 9-2 now, bitch. Jesse Pinkman.
Take that fucking L.
Courtesy of Emily's crush, Matt Barzal. Pretty sick for him. Pretty sick for her. That's exciting. Sorokin did what I have been chirping him about not doing. He made, I think I wrote it down. It was 36 saves, I want to say. Yeah, he stood in his head.
Whoa.
And now you're looking at something, and I know we're going to get to this in the B series a little bit, but you're looking at something here, and maybe here, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but you lose that Game 5 at home, and now you go back to Long Island. And if you lose that game, it's Game 7.
And anything can happen in Game 7. It is it's so weird. When you're up 3-1, it feels like a cushion, right? But it's almost like the 2-goal lead in hockey. It's like you're up 3-1, you feel good, but then you usually lose that game, which means you're headed back on the road, and then the pressure's on. The pressure feels real. It's weird. So the main highlight of this one for me is Sorokin. I'm with you. Sorokin had his first Sorokin game, as far as I'm concerned, in this series. This was a big Sorokin performance, 36 saves. You get a gutsy, gritty 3-2 win.
Canes played sick in the third, too.
Yeah.
Outshot them like 12-5. Like, they were all over them, and and Sorokin hung on. He stole the game.
Yeah, now you head back to the island. You got a chance to force a Game 7. It feels weird. I think we both, or I picked Carolina in this series. I know you picked the Islanders. I think most people probably picked Carolina. So if you're the Islanders, you're in this weird sweet spot of being a wild card team. No one really gave you a chance. The first 2 games looked tough for you. And you're almost sitting in this fun position where you're like, well, let's just do what we can do here. I think my big thing here, I got to point out, you've got 2 wins here. Kyle Palmieri is your leading scorer in this series through 5 games with 2 goals, 3 assists, and 5 points.
Were you at Bo?
My big what the fuck is going on is Matt Barzal and Bo Horvat both have 2 points each.
Yeah.
And it's just, dude, I feel like the last couple years maybe it's just mostly been this season. Matt Barzal is maybe on fraud watch for me. I mean,
whoa.
People were talking all about how he is just he's in that group, right? He's in the Jack Hughes, the Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Connor McDavid. He's in that camp of the David Pastrnak, these new young studs in the league. And Matt Barzal is out here just like supposed to be the franchise player, right? And then he's just not. He's not performing that way. The guy never scores. Brian, can you look up Matt Barzal's stats this past season? Because I'm pretty sure they were incredibly uninspiring.
Did you see that chaos?
He had less than 20 goals, I believe. Yes, I sure did.
Well, imagine not getting this pass, dude. Look at this.
Yeah.
They almost get scored on 3 times because you're playing mite hockey.
Oh, and that one right there is insane. That was a monster Vazzy save.
14 goals, 51 points, 37 assists.
In how many games?
58.
So how many points?
51.
51 to 58 he's a point per game guy.
He's not a point per game guy. He's under point per game. And yeah, sure, that's a 60 game sample size. But the 14 goals is the thing where I'm like, buddy, you got to be a little bit better if you're
going to be put in that category.
If you're this guy.
You're crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. If Matt Barzal is, a 65 point guy, he's a 65 point guy.
Yeah, you're crazy. You're David Crazy.
But yeah, I just think most people thought he was going to be more than that. And then you come into this playoff series and you and Bo, easily top 4 players on the team. You've got 2 points each. You got to step it up. So we're going back to the aisle here. And my thing is, whenever people are put on notice when you're not performing in the playoffs, all you need to do is get that one clutch goal, that one clutch performance that's like, well, look, I did it when it mattered. So if I'm those 2 guys, obviously this is Bo's first playoff experience, I believe. He's got a few games, right? But he hasn't been in the playoffs in a while.
Yeah.
He's on this new team, signed a huge
ticket. All psyched about it.
Yep.
Chirping Vancouver about it.
Vancouver, you signed a huge ticket. You guys got to fucking nut up here. So I've got a big spotlight on those 2 in this game back in New York, and you've got a chance here to make this very uncomfortable for Carolina.
You said earlier, I think last ep, that the Vegas Jets series probably felt like the least watched series in the playoffs, and I like that take, but I almost think now it's this series. I feels like nobody cares about this series. It felt over, and that's probably the right take. But step it up, boys. Game 4 or Game 5 or Game 6. What game is it? Game 6? Game 6 Friday is what I was trying to say. And that could be a really exciting one, dude. This series could hit the smelling salts big time. if that jumps up, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to rock.
And just one thing to draw attention to, I think you brought this up last episode. The Islanders remain sitting in dead last place on the power play.
Yeah, it's awful, dude.
And you guys just your power play is cashing in at 6.67%. That is just so bad. So figure that shit out right now.
Can I hit you with a hot take on home ice before we move on from
Yeah,
this?
always. I love hot takes.
Dude, I think, you know how in fantasy football drafts, it used to always be like, if you get last place, you pick first next year. Congratulations. And then leagues started being like, yo, if you get last place, you can pick when you pick. Because sometimes picking first isn't fun. It's like a snake draft. And like you pick 1,000 places after,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like that. I think the higher seed in hockey should not automatically get home ice in games 1, 2, 5, and 7. You should get to pick when you want home ice. And sorry, but it's the same model. So basically, you either get 1, 2, 5, and 7.
Pat Maroon just fucking stapled Mark Giordano. Sorry.
Wow. And here's why. I know this is an insanely hot take because I'm arguing you can either accept home ice or concede it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's insane because if it goes game 7, theoretically you want it at home every time. But especially in hockey, game 7 home ice doesn't matter to me that much. It's fucking game 7. It's chaos. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what rink you're in. The fans are loud, whatever. It's not like football where you can't hear the plays or basketball where you see the rim different. It's fucking hockey. It's game 7, whatever. And my argument is as follows. If you are the better team, you think going into game 5, you should be up 3-1 if you're the better team. Maybe you win both at home, you split on the road. That's usually the model, right?
Yeah.
Even if you split at home, you saw the Knights do it, you saw the Bruins do it. You grab both on the road. If you're the better team, you expect to be going into game 5 up 3-1.
Yeah.
And the thing that I hate, dude, is when you are up 3-1 with game 5 at home, which is what just happened to the Bees, it just happened to the Hurricanes, and you lose that game. Game 6 is on the road, which feels like a hard win, and then it's game 7. We just said this, right?
Yeah.
I would so much rather, if I was the better team, be up 3-1 with game 5 on the road. Because you're like, maybe we'll win, we'll steal it. And if not, who gives a fuck? We come home for game 6 and close this bitch out.
Yep.
So if I was significantly better, if we even matched, I might say, give me home ice. I'd rather game 7 at home. But if I was a significantly better team, I would say, give them fucking home ice to start this series. Because you always say, Dan, the playoffs don't start till you lose at home. And I'd rather have the first 2 games of the playoff series when you're kind of on edge. I'm like, I'd rather, if we lose these games, who cares? Because we're on the road. I hate that game 1 at home because you're like, if you lose this game, you're like, fuck, we've already blown home ice. I'm like, dude, let me try to steal one of these first 2 completely pressure-free. Then once we're settled into the series, I'll win my home games, and then I get my comfortable game 5 with flexibility.
I think you're onto something, bud. I mean, I think the biggest thing that you said that I agree with is it just doesn't matter that much. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I think it's a sheet of ice, man. And I think these guys are such pros. And really, I think the thing that a lot of casual hockey fans, and I'm not chirping here, don't realize is the benefits of being the home team, like line changes and things like that.
Face-off, yeah.
Face-offs, line changes, where your bench is positioned per period. That stuff matters more than the quote-unquote fan hometown cooking advantage shit. This might be a devil's goal here.
You know what else, Dan? Oh my God. Or keep going.
So, yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say. Like, I think you the whole, like, where would you rather play when you're up, this and that, like, all that fucking, you're going deep in the chemistry set.
That's some
here.
real CP,
you're deep in the chemistry
disgusting stuff happening.
Yeah. You're a sick boy, dude. And
I might have lost the thread there, but I think there's something to that.
You're a sick boy, and I love it, dude. But, all that's true. To me, the note behind the note is just, it doesn't matter that much. I think of all the major sports in the playoffs, it feels like the one that matters the least. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it.
It is a great fallacy because when teams have better home records in leagues like NHL, NBA, it's because usually you kind of go on road trips and then you have home stints.
Yeah.
And it's not, you do play better at home because you've been at home for a week and a half, doing your thing, home cooked meals, your own bed. And definitely your own bed is always going to be better than a hotel bed. But the fallacy of it in the playoffs for games 5, 6, and 7 especially is, you're back home game 6. That ain't a home stint, bro. You were just in someone else's barn. You fly back, play the next day at home.
Yeah.
Then you fly. They feel like road games anyway because you're just
Definitely.
zooming around all over the place.
100%.
But anyway, we'll take that to Bettman in the offseason because I think if you're the higher seed, you should get to
Just pick.
What's what do they do in the NFL when they defer? They defer the kickoff, right?
Yeah.
I think I should be able to defer
Defer home ice. I fucking
and
love
I'm
it.
gonna do some work on this, but that's what I'm thinking about it.
All right, we're kicking it to Stars Wild. This, I said last episode, Minnesota Wild, and that info is coming for you hard and fast tomorrow when you play. The biggest issue for you is Otter woke up. Otter is very hot, dude. He has been sunbathing. He's laying out on a rock. He's cracking clams on his tummy.
Look at me, dude.
He's an otter, and he's in the sun, and he's hot. Holding hands, dude, so we don't drift apart. That's that right there.
He's feeling comfortable in the crease
dude,
right now,
he's
Dan.
filling up that little belly, dude.
He's feeling comfortable.
He's so comfy. And that is a big issue if you are Minnesota. And the other thing, Robo's on the board, getting a little more involved. I just don't see anything good for the Wild right now. Feels like we talked about early. Oh, we got a playoff scrap, dude.
Drop the gloves.
Is that Troach?
This is the game
No,
for
it's
me.
Goudreau.
Yeah.
Win or lose, this is the game.
Yep. You're right, dude. Whoever goes down first is winning this. is
Barclay
losing this
in a
game.
tilt right now.
Not enough action. Oh.
Yeah.
Nah. Kind of a stale fight.
Yeah, so 27 save shutout, I think, but
Yep.
a shutout, a fucking playoff shutout. Put that on the resume.
The lower shots, under 30
Yep.
shots, whatever. It's
Put
the
that on the
shutout
resume, dude.
is just, yeah.
I think, dude, I love Otter. I think he is awake, and the Wild are on notice, and the entire West is on notice. I'm not kidding. If I had to pick, I think Colorado's in big trouble. I would have liked their chances. I think
Yeah.
Colorado's in big trouble. I
They're in
think
big trouble,
the winner
dude.
of the Kings-Oilers series might be cup bound, legit. But if Otter's here, if Otter's here now,
Yeah.
then the entire West is on notice, dude.
Yeah. And I think it's a huge first round win for Dallas. I think that's huge for them,
Yeah.
dude. I think them getting out of the first round, Otter getting a first round advance, that is just big time for this Dallas team. You've got guys who've been there, Sagan and Ben, Pavelski. You've got the juice, man, to walk here. And I think that's something really interesting about this team is you look at the new big boys on the team. Robo and Rupe, I'd say.
Yep.
Rupe is currently leading the NHL before tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens in these 3 games. But Rupe is currently, as recording, leading the NHL in points in the Stanley Cup playoffs with 4 goals, 7 assists, and 11 points. After that, Robo's got 2 and 4 for 6, so he's over a point per game now in this series. Those are your big boys. But, dude, Ben and Sagan are contributing in a big way.
Dude,
And now Otter's hot. Haskinen's got 6 assists. He's probably going to tuck a goal coming up here soon. But, this team is looking very balanced, and your goalie's playing very well. I feel very uncomfortable.
great catch. See, and the thing about shift sticks is they don't even hurt you when they fall on.
No, and they don't break either.
They don't break.
I feel very uncomfortable if I'm the Minnesota Wild. Very uncomfortable.
Robo, you brought up the Robo goal. For me, that was the classic NBA scorer can't buy a bucket and they just tell him to get to the free throw line. Just see one go in.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to keep giving Robo wrist shots from the slot on the power play till he fucking scores one, be my guest. But that is not how I would recommend you get by the Stars in the playoffs.
Yep.
Because
Dallas-
Robo saw one go in now.
Dallas is sitting with the 3rd highest power play percentage as well. They're just things are working. Sagan, I think, has 4 power play goals.
Dude, he's a weapon.
I feel so good. Here's actually a fun topic. I would have said Toronto before this, but Toronto's currently down 2-1 at the end of the second here.
End of 2, yeah.
End of 2, they're down 2-1, but lull at Tampa holding a lead in this fucking series. I'd say right now, Dallas has got to be 1-2 with Toronto as best. You're feeling the best of any team.
Yeah, and we joked a million times about the Minnesota PK. It's ridiculous. But, dude, stay out of the box if you're going to play like this. If the Dallas power play is going to do this to you, it's not like I want them to play soft or scared or anything. At the post, that did. But big Rags power player.
Huge.
But stop taking penalties, dude. You are getting burned on the fucking PK. You are doing nothing. Dallas isn't hurting you even strength really at
Yeah.
all. It's
Yeah.
mind blowing to me. Last thing on this, I joked we joked with all the followers on Twitter. Do you go to Fleury? And you don't.
You don't.
But old Dino, I guarantee you, there is a non-0% chance in his brain that he's like,
it's being
maybe
talked
Fleury.
about. It's being talked about. You know that, dude. You know that
Oh,
the fucking
God.
gears are spinning right now in Dino's head, and it's just it's not a no-brainer.
It's not a no, dude.
And that's interesting.
Can you imagine the media if they go to Fleury in Game 6 and he gives up 7? It's like,
It will be talked about for hours and hours and hours by us included. I mean, it would
Yep.
just be the dumbest decision you could possibly make.
you got to live with Gus and die with Gus. They're going to. And if Otter
Whoop.
stays, if Otter stays hot, they just might die with him.
Yeah, they might.
Can we score some?
Oh my
fucking
God,
goals?
2-on-1
No.
What's up?
goal.
You have got to be
Oh my God,
shorty.
shorthanded goal. That was fucking
That was a rip.
filth.
That was
dude.
a sauce.
Oh
that
my
was a
God.
sauce rip.
The Devils, dude. They're out of control. The Devils are unleashed, dude. They've got so many shots on net. They might have more shots on net right now than they've had in any game, and it's halfway through the second period. They just scored a PK goal. It's up 3-0 right now. If you were the Rangers, you're sweating.
They're
sweating right
that was
now.
Oh damn! Who was that? Who bobbled that? That was the second 2-on-1.
Look at Holla. Holla's having a game. Look at that clap bomb. Shesty, get shelved.
Dude, Holla sauce.
Sauce, clap.
Oh god, that's such a rip. Nothing you can do by anybody. Foxy.
Red light district, dude.
Foxy came back. Who?
Is there any better feeling?
No.
Or is there any bigger switch in feeling than when you are sitting in the sin bin praying to God the other team doesn't get a power play goal, and then your boys on the PK score a shorty?
Dude, in
That's some 6 to midnight shit
the
right there.
state quarters one year, I took a penalty, and I never take penalties.
No,
I'm the
he
Lady
doesn't.
Bing. I'm the lady. They renamed the Lady Bing after me, dude. And I
The lady C, dude.
Yeah. And I was in the box in the state quarters, and I was devastated. And then we scored a shorty, and I started smashing my stick into the glass so hard that the penalty box guy was like, "Yo, dude, calm down.
Relax. And you're like, just don't tell me to calm
don't,
down,
don't
dude.
talk to me, criminal." All right, let's go to Vegas Jets. That was another one that was playing while we were recording on Monday. Jets took the lead, but then Vegas mopped them 4-2.
Yep.
I feel bad for the Jets fans because they dumped both there and they showed up. They showed up hard for the squad. That was
I know.
awesome.
The white wall was fucking
Yep.
raging.
And I think this was an interesting series where I definitely felt like Vegas was better. But after the first 2 games, LB and net, a lot of questions in the Vegas goal. And that first game, giving up 5 or whatever it was, I was like, wow, this could go either way. But we've said it a couple times now. But since that Bruce Cassidy little bare bottom spanking, Vegas has just looked a class ahead of the Jets the rest of the way. Do you think they close it out tonight? They play
I
tonight.
think I do. On our post with Dr. Locks today, I picked the Knights puck line.
Oh, you did. That's right.
I think the Knights are going to finish this up. I think the Morrissey loss is so bad.
Oh, it's devastating.
I think and this is ironic because I think he's so important on things like power play, PK, just 5-on-5, his skating ability, his puck, or the way he sees the ice, his puck movement is so invaluable. What's interesting, dude, is Winnipeg has the number 2 power play in the playoffs.
Really?
But they are tied for the last power plays. They're not getting power play opportunities. And it's one of those things like, are you not drawing enough penalties? What's going on here? But
And remember I told you Vegas had the least amount of power plays in the regular season this year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah. So
I don't know what that means, but that's something to think about.
It's something to think about. But it's a low penalty series. Vegas only has 14 power plays to Winnipeg's 12. It is one of those situations where I think you're right. You feel a little bit bad. Pionk is leading both teams in points with 7 assists. He's got 7 points, 7 assists. There's a lot of spread right now going on the stat sheet for both of these teams. But Vegas, after the Bruce Cassidy spanking, Vegas is playing better. They're just the better top to bottom team. And you know what this is for me, man? This is the evidence of the depth of this Vegas team that everyone has talked about. you look at all the fucking turnaround, the GM turnaround, the LTIR burying salary and all that stuff. Well, now we're seeing it. And Mark Stone is back. Eichel is back. All of these guys are on the ice, and they're spreading the wealth, and they're getting huge wins. Yeah, I think they finish.
Which they've always done. Obviously, I think Jack Eichel is a superstar in this league, but he don't have superstar numbers. And he led the team in points. He led the team in points with 66 points.
Yeah.
So you look at that squad, and you're like, I got the Oilers with 3 guys over 100, and your leading scorer has 66, but they spread the wealth. And that's why they're dangerous.
Yeah.
I also think they close it out. The bigger question is, do they shrimp it out?
Yeah, I'm fucked, man. I mean, like, Jack is sitting right now with 3 goals. I like how he's got so many goals.
Me too.
3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points. He needs 2 more.
Needs 2 more points.
He gets those 2 more points, and your boy's eating shrimp.
I'd
And
like him to do it in this round.
me
just for
too. Me too.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna do it. Cause, like I said,
Whoa.
I think that's
Did
a
you see
huge
the save?
Huge
That was a
save.
monster chesty
Wow.
save. That should be 4-0. That was
yeah.
ridiculous.
I think that they close it out tonight, and I would love Jack to get 2 points tonight because it's gonna feel real insulting. That's a big time Shesterkin save. Show the flowers when they're needed. It's gonna feel real frustrating if they take care of business in what, 6 here? Or is that going to be 5?
This is game 5.
This is 5, yeah. If they gentlemen sweep and Jack gets 0 or 1, and then he just like in game 1 or 2 of the second series gets it, and I'm like, why did I give you 2 fucking?
Yeah, because I was arguing for that because I was like, they could lose this series, and I agree. I would love him to happen. I actually was saying I hope Vegas goes on, but I hope it's 7. Like, I'm rooting for the Jets to extend this series just to give Jack more games. Sorry, Vegas fans, the shrimp matters more to me than your season, and I will not apologize for that. So I'm pushing for the Jets tonight, but if they do it, I hope Jack gets 2.
All right, the contentious one for us. Let's move it on over to the Bruins. Panthers. Chance to gentleman sweep in Boston. Bruins played the ugliest fucking game they could have ever put out. Yes, they did.
No, game 2 was way worse.
That's actually probably fair. Well, I was saying I didn't say the ugliest game of the series. If you just listen to me, I said ugliest game they could have ever played in game 5. And they just shit the bed, dude. Turnovers all over the ice. Not taking anything away from Florida because I love the fight in this Florida Panthers team, but just gross, ugly turnover goals all over the place. Bruins fighting from behind the whole game. You go down, you tie it. You go down, you tie it. You go down, you tie it. And then the fucking worst turnover ever by Linus Ullmark in overtime to seal the deal. Matty Tkachuk puts his fucking cock and balls right on everyone's face. Slap, dude. Awful. And that's that. And the Bruins now head back to Sunrise for game 6.
With a mushroom tattoo.
With a fat mushroom tattoo on your fucking cheek. And like CP said, with the Carolina series, this is awkward. You're up 3-1. Now you got to go away, and you got to steal another one. In the Bruins circumstances, you have to hope that you win all 3 on the road if you want to get out of here before going to 7.
Which I hate because I don't think they'll lose 3 at home. They beat us twice, beat the Bruins twice there.
And a big thing here, man, is if you're this Bruins team, you look at Krejci out, Bergeron just came back, you would have liked that rest.
Oh, my God.
But, now you're practicing, you're getting on a plane, you're heading to Florida.
Can I silver lining you?
Not the worst.
I have a lot bad to say, but let me silver lining you real quick.
Yeah, go.
I don't hate Berg getting a little bit more game speed.
Me neither.
He looked great. He had a fucking talk already, but just like...
He got so much better as that game.
Yes, so I'm like, give him another game under his belt before we go face one of these guys, and I'll take that. Okay, a few bullet points on this, Dan. I want to talk about the lineup changes first. That's what I want to talk about first. The NHL posts this thing that's like projected lineups for every game before the playoffs. You go on NHL.com, it's there every morning, and it's who the guys skated with in morning skate. And I saw the Panthers said that they were starting Lyon. They did not. We'll talk about that in a second. And then I also saw the Bruins lines, and they were exactly what you'd expect. Brad, Berg, DeBrusk, Krejci was still out, so it was like Zaka, Pasta, Burt, I think, Hall, Foligno, Coyle, Lauk, my boy Lauko got in. My boy Lauko played a good game and got a bullshit penalty call against him.
Yeah, that sucked. Actually, man, we've been shitting on the refs, and I don't want to pull the hometown cooking arc here, but Berg scores that power play goal.
Yep.
And then the refs just fucking 20 seconds later call a phantom call on Lauko. And it just felt such bullshit and unnecessary. So
But then, dude, we get to puck drop, and the lines are butt fucked to Timbuktu.
Yeah.
And Montgomery, that's his thing. He obviously mixed him up in game 3, and we took 2 in Florida, so it's like good results. But he did this in Dallas, too. What do you think about? And, dude, it lasted, 5 minutes? And he was like, oh, sorry, Berg, go back with Brad. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And as a former, as Variety and Rolling Stone magazine would say, as former hockey players, what do you think about that in terms of complete line jumbling in game 5 of a fucking playoff series?
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm going to rage here. So prepare for the rage. That said, I don't think there should be any overthinking or panicking here from the Bruins. I think everyone needs to fucking calm down. So I'm talking right to you, Bees and Bees fans. Everyone take a breath. I don't think there's any cause for alarm in this series personally. And that's not me discrediting Florida. Like I said, I love the fight in this team. I love the mentality in this team. I think the Bruins are okay. I thought the line situation to start that game was a classic Monty overthink. And I don't mean Monty overthinks. I mean, it was just like a classic overthink in the playoffs, this time by Monty. It was, Berg hasn't played yet. Some of these guys are cooking together. Let's mix it up. Dude, come on. Berg and Marshy have fucking over 10 years of time together. Just put them together. Don't waste any time. And I'm not saying that the lines were the reason for the turnovers, but when you have to in-game adjust like that and switch the lines back to what they probably should have been, it just feels so shitty and uncomfortable. Don't put yourself in that position. I did not think that was a good move, and I'm glad Monty saw it and made the adjustment, but hopefully for the Bruins' sake, they see that in the beginning of Game 6.
I think so, too. I think you will see it go back. Nervous about Bob at all. Bob ended up getting the start. I don't know why they had Lyon projected to start in the morning skate. They went to Bob. I thought he was phenomenal.
Yeah, here's the thing. At the end of the day, Bob had 44 saves.
Yeah.
There was a 47-shot performance by the Boston Bruins. Bob had 44 saves, and you get the win. So, unbelievable stuff. He had a couple great saves. As stupid as this sounds, I don't like the Bruins shots, dude.
In quality, you don't like the quality.
I don't
chances?
like the quality chances. I don't think their XG was very high in that game. I think the second period was the most telltale. Christ almighty, guys, you got to get better chances. You got to finish here. They had 21 shot attempts to 4 in the last 10 or so minutes of that second period, and they let the Panthers score that ugly, ugly Sam Bennett goal to finish the second. And it was just kind of a painting of how that game was going. And yeah, you got a lot of shots. Great performance by Bob. Don't discredit it, because we know there's a good goalie inside Bob, and he's definitely starting Game 6. But I'm not. If you're the Bruins, you can't be in there like this. Oh no, Bobrovsky. Shut up, dude.
Yeah.
Go out and fucking play hockey and score goals. Take better shots. But it does go into so many stick taps, dude. Stick taps for Bob, because that's a fucking huge win. And it's a huge performance in a win-or-go-home game.
And a heavy dick save on Brad at the buzzer.
Heavy dick save.
Oh my God.
That was a... I actually don't know if I'm willing to say this because I have the benefit of hindsight in them losing, but Brad getting a breakaway with literally 3 seconds left to end the third period and a chance to ice the game and then not scoring almost felt like you're not winning this game. Like, it's just not in the cards for you. You got to score that if you're Brad. And that's such a fucking douchey thing to say. Like, you got to score on a high intensity. Like, he knows there's no time left on that clock. So he's like, fuck, get down and shoot. And you know that, he put his head down, he booked it, got the puck, and looked up and shot once. And it was a great shot and a great save. So I got nothing bad to say about anyone in that circumstance. But boy, damn it, would that have been sick for Brad.
Dude.
Brad would have pimped that goal celly so hard.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Dude, Pete Blackburn, who I think is a Bees fan, who you follow on Instagram.
He's a Boston local, I believe.
He tweeted, Bobrovsky is going to hell for making that save. And it's both accurate as a Bees fan and just as a hockey fan, because what a sick highlight. Like, how often do you see a buzzer beater in hockey breakaway to win, to end a fucking series? Dude, Bob is going straight to hell for that.
Dude, we've launched our new series on IG of we wouldn't have won the cup if, and there's these unsung moments. I'm not saying this is going to happen, obviously. Wow, that's a fucking huge, clear breakaway from Marner that Vazzy just saved. Oh, my God.
I love you, Mitch.
I think that was Mitch. Yeah, it was Mitch. But if the Panthers go on and win the cup here, that
is a moment, dude.
Huge fucking moment.
Season on the line. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Literally season on the line.
Entire season.
I don't want to stay on the Beast too long, but I had just a couple bullet points. Pasta, I fucking said... I hate that he has 60 goddamn goals and he's the entire Bruins scoring production, and he's vanishing in the playoffs again.
Dude.
He hasn't been horrific, but he hasn't. He's got to go. Some people in the playoffs don't score all playoffs. I remember significant runs of big Bruins players getting into the Eastern Conference Finals without a goal. He's got 2 goals already. So he hasn't been horrific, but he isn't carrying the team like he was offensively, and that sucks.
I'm calling out David Pastrnak. I thought he was absolute dog shit yesterday, and yeah, man, I'm sorry. You have 2 goals in what, the first 2 games?
No, game 3, I think.
Game 3?
So
okay.
like 2 goals in 3 games.
You had the first goal of the series, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
And then he's got a goal in game 3, and he's been a complete ghost, dude. He's doing a full-on Casper act in this series. And here's the other thing, dude. I've got some bad news for David Pastrnak and Bruins fans. This is not the first time you have seen David Pastrnak disappear in the playoffs. He is your leading scorer constantly in these past, several years. And here we are in the playoffs. He's got 2 fucking points, dude. You got Taylor Hall out here leading the series with 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points.
And he has been that was another bullet point.
He's a baller.
Now he has a fucking spine. Dan and I always do this thing where we award spines to whoever has a spine.
Because you have to have a fucking spine
It takes
in
a
your
spine
back.
to lift the cup. It's the only way you can do it.
You
and
need
Taylor
a spine.
Hall has been awarded a spine so far already. No other spines have been awarded yet.
The announcers in the game last night were talking about it. Hall was playing at a different speed than everyone else on the ice. And they said, and this is correct, confidence can do that to you, and Taylor has confidence right now, and he is buzzing around the ice. And we were watching the game, and I went, Jesus Christ, Halsey's buzzing. And then they literally started talking about it right after that, so I could do that job. But Halsey is leading with 8 points. Marshy's got 6. Bertuzzi's got 6. DeBrusk has 5. It's great to see that you're getting scoring from some of these other guys. But, yeah, Pasta, dude, you have 2 goals and 0 assists. That is not going to cut it.
Correct.
So you need to wake the fuck up. That is a big deal. To go back to Halsey, he said recently, he goes, listen, dude, I'm not naive. I know that this is my best chance I've ever had, and it might be my last chance at winning a Stanley Cup. So I am elevating my play, and I'm getting it fucking done.
Spine.
That is spine shit right there, and I love it, and I hope it's contagious for everyone else on the ice. Before we move on, I want to give some quick stick taps to Brandon Montour.
He's a great player, dude.
I think
Holy
Brandon
shit.
Montour
I've loved watching him.
I think he has quietly, at least from if you're a Florida fan, you're definitely, you definitely have eyes on this. Brandon Montour is having a phenomenal series. He is playing unbelievable hockey. He's got 2-2 for 4 points in 5 games in this series. I think most guys, when you talk about this team, you'll talk about Ekblad as the defenseman that you look at as really the leader of that defensive core. But if he's 1A, Montour is 1B. And the guy is just all over the ice. He's mixing it up with everyone. He's making game-saving plays. That kid can fucking play hockey, and it's just awesome to see.
Yep. Not dwelling on this. Bonehead turnover by Ullmark. I can't believe you don't rim that around the boards. Trying to get cute, like backhand flip it. That was insane.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do, dude. Like, we had Boston fans all in our DMs last night being like, Jesus, dude, rake him over the coals. People are going, bench him for next game. And I think that is the most fucking insane take in the world. But it's one of those moments where he goes into the locker room, and obviously that's the only question he's going to get. Everyone's like this. Question. And dude, it's one of those things where I want to go, what the fuck do you want him to say? But if I were in that locker room, I would have been like this. Dude, what in the
Why
world?
did you do that?
I have to know. I have to know why you did that. It was one of the craziest decisions a goalie could make in the trap. It's unbelievable.
And then my last one is, dude, stick taps to Matty Tkachuk. I feel like,
dude.
Dude, he's a gamer. Everyone's going to say shit again that he's like,
I love him.
Everyone's mad. He's being a clown. Big save. He's there. He's in the right places.
gamer.
He's doing the right things. I fucking loved his celly. Like, he was genuinely fired up. Saved the boys' season.
Yep.
He's fucking sick at hockey. But not breaking news. He's a 100-point guy. But like,
No,
he's
dude.
the man, dude. And Florida has a great core player on there.
Okay, I got a hot take for you here.
Yeah.
Watching this season and now this playoff series so far, if I'm starting a franchise, take goalie off the board.
Yeah.
If I'm starting a franchise, I think Matthew Tkachuk is a top 4 player off the board.
No, Jesus.
I do. I'm saying when I look at a guy that I want on my team who is a complete player who's going to give it on every single level of the game, offensive output, defensive output, not afraid to mix shit up, a great locker room voice, a good head on his shoulders, and a fucking gamer, dude.
Yeah.
Someone who is going to play the fucking game when it matters most. Matthew Tkachuk is way up on that list.
He's not 4. You're wrong. But it might be 10.
It's definitely 10. It's
got
Connor and Leon probably.
Nate, Dog, Jack. Like if you're starting a franchise, you're taking Jack over.
I don't know. Matty Tkachuk had more points this season.
What about I know. What about Matthews? You take Matty Tkachuk over Matthews?
I don't know. Matthews can't get out of the first round. Yet.
He's really high.
He's high.
Well, I'll give you that. He's really high.
I positioned it how I positioned it intentionally because, dude, the kid, he just is a fucking big time player.
Yep. I love him.
Clip title is Dan smoking crack? Question mark.
Yes, dude.
All right, getting into our favorite series still, at least mine, Kings Oilers.
Same.
Oilers take a 3-2 lead. We had a feeling they were going to get that win in Edmonton. They did, 6-3. I said last episode, if I'm the Kings, I'm not worried about that. Like, you go into that gaming like this, we're probably losing this, and if you lose it, it's fine. You come back to crypto, take care of business, make this go 7.
We put that on Twitter too. Same, yeah.
That's no doubt the take. The main thing that I want to talk about, and I think you do too, is the power play in this. Edmonton is leading the playoffs in the power play. I think they're, what is it, like fucking 8 for 17 or something?
14, dude.
8 for 14.
They're over 50.
They're over 50%. But that's not surprising, right? Like we talk about, like, when you've got McDavid, Draisaitl, RNH on the ice on a power play, it's like, fuck me, how are you not going to score? You brought up earlier, if you're the Kings, it's like, stay out of the fucking box, dude. But they're not really even taking that many penalties. It's just that they can't kill them.
Dude, some calls have been tough, right? Like that Fiala tripping call was a fucking travesty. You already said the rest have been bad. And the Oilers had the best power play in the regular season at over 30. Only team even close to 30, and they were over 30 by a little bit. So you expected this. You're still going to be better if you're the Kings. Over 50 is ridiculous. And I want to say, you're right, Dan. I want it to be like, wow. I want it to be like, stop taking penalties. Like exactly what I just said to the Wild. They took 6 penalties last game, dude. The Stars are killing you. Stop taking so many penalties. But, dude, let me read you the Kings' penalties.
Before you even get into this, when we talked about the trade deadline, I said, and I think I highlighted Chychrun as the number one. Not that Chychrun's like the best PK defenseman in the league, but I did say I felt like I would have loved to have seen the Oilers get a significant defenseman.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, the Kings
yep.
get a significant defenseman at the deadline. And this is one of those things where Drew Doughty is one of the best Kings of all time. He's one of the best defensemen in the league. I think Durzee's remarkable. I think getting Anderson back in the lineup is huge. But if they just had another really solid D-man, you got to assume that would help.
Agree. The penalties they have so far is 3 through 5 games. 3, 1, 4, 3, 3.
Yep.
So that's not horrible. And my question to you, as I was trying to do that, when I did that math and I was thinking about it, my knee jerk was like, that's nothing. Teams are taking 6, 8 penalties a game in the playoffs. A lot of calls, a lot of whistles so far. To you, I'm asking you, what is an appropriate, an amount of penalties that you could take if you were coaching a team in the playoffs, an amount of penalties that they could take in a game that you would say, that's fine. And maybe rule out like a game 7, because sometimes it's like, no.
I've thought a ton about this. It's 2.5. If you were living at an average of 2.5 penalties per game, I'm like, okay. Yeah. I would love it to be 2, a flat 2. Take 2 penalties in the game. But it's the rate of play. It's how the game goes. So I'm not mad at that. LA has had 18 power plays in this series. Edmonton has had 14.
Yeah.
So, you're getting the power play more, and you're down in this series. So you have to kill it, dude. It's like you're giving up over 50% of these power play chances, and that ain't gonna cut it, dude. And how can you stop it? But Draisaitl's leading the series with 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. McDavid's right behind him with 2, 6, and 8. And then Evan Bouchard, dude, 2, 6, and 8.
Yeah, wow.
It's crazy. And then you got Kempe and Kopi at 7 each, 4 and 3 for Kempe, 2 and 5 for Kopitar.
Yeah.
Fiala's back in the lineup. You really hope Fiala gets going. But you have to try to stop the bleeding with those 2.
Yes.
They are currently, Draisaitl has 2 points per game.
It's killing you.
And he is killing you. So you need to reassess here if you're LA and you want to make this go 7. You got to protect home ice. I think they absolutely can. I think they will. Just the way that these 2 teams play each other, it almost feels pre-written. Like these guys are going to go to game 7, and it's wild.
So we...
Oh, goal.
Wow.
Tampa.
Who was that? Ross?
Was that our boy Ross? No,
Friend
I
of
think
the program.
No, I think he had an assist on it.
Maybe a plus though.
Don't see any arguments here. Looks like this is a goal. Toronto fans are
God,
melting in the stands.
We were
dude.
literally gonna go. We ended up
Yeah,
starting recording a
Paulie,
little late.
dude.
Yeah, man, he's had some big playoff
That's a
goals the last
gritty.
few
Yep,
years,
and
dude.
that's a gritty goal too. Puck
gets
down
this
low,
in front.
behind the net, toss it right in front. Ross Colton, there you go. Rattles around, there you go.
Wait,
Wow,
I
he
didn't
put
even
it right
see
back
what
at
happened there.
Sammer.
What happened? Here you go, Paul. Oh, blocked.
And
Yeah,
then
hit it.
and then he goes right back to the well, dude.
Broken twig. Shift hockey.
You've
Get
got-
a stick. Buy a stick.
Buy a stick, buy a stick. Promo code Netters. Look at this, dude. He shoots it right in the same spot.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Damn, dude. Okay.
Hey, no lead is safe with this.
no lead
Tampa
is safe.
team.
Correct. So Saturday,
Don't give up, Toronto.
Dan and I are going to the Kings game. The Kings are bringing us to the game.
Yes.
I love going to Kings games. I love the entire Kings organization. They're so nice to us. They put on such a show, and the building is going to be rocking. This is not, I say this all the time. People ask us this all the time, being in LA. It feels like Lakers town, Dodgers town, even if you go east. But this is not the Miami crowd that shows up halfway through the period, halfway through the first, and doesn't care. This building will be packed 45 minutes before puck drop, and the energy is going to be super high. I couldn't be more excited to be there. I couldn't be more excited to watch the Kings play this game. If they lose in 6 to the same team they took to 7 last year, do you feel like the Kings, because we went to their Hollywood pregame, I've talked about this before, where they're like, advancement, progression, revolutions.
Yeah.
We miss the playoffs, we make the playoffs, and this year we win a round. Losing to the same team in less games, are they disappointed? Does this season feel like a step back?
No,
if
it
they
does not.
lose to 6, lose to the Oilers in 6?
Such a good question, Chris. That is on paper, yeah, right? It is a step back. But we saw this Edmonton team get so much better. They were arguably the best team in the league for the second half of the season. It's hard to say with Boston doing what Boston did. But you've got McDavid and Draisaitl setting career highs in points. They're playing out of their fucking minds. This Edmonton team got a lot better at the deadline. You came into this series with Velarde banged up, Fiala not even playing due to injury until game 3. And
4, I think, yeah.
And if you drop this in 6, drop this in 7, I don't think you look at it as a step back. I think you feel fucking, I don't want to say shafted, but you feel pissed that your
Playoff
division
format is
is
what it is,
so fucking good, and you have to play this team in the first round. Like, that is brutal.
I agree with you, especially because last year the Kings got tagged a few times in this. And I know it went 7, but they had 2 games where they lost like 8-0 or whatever, 8 something.
Yeah.
I thought it's been way closer this year. So you'll take that.
Losing to Connor McDavid in the year 2023, you do not feel bad.
The one thing that sucks, which will haunt them all fucking offseason, is game 4.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, 'cause,
That's a bad one.
That was not good.
That's a bad one.
But I'm pumped.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great game.
It's going to be fantastic. I'm psyched. All right, CP. Let's talk some spunk. Oh, my God, dude.
Covered in spunk, dude.
There's spunk all over this room, dude.
Oh,
I
dude,
can't. Can you believe that this idiot called a sweep?
Dude, I said 6,
What an idiot.
I think, and which is wrong, obviously. And I knew it. I knew it deep down. I should have just said it when I felt it, but I just thought there was spunk somewhere in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like I had X-ray vision, and I
Yeah.
could just see their little bellies, their little nutsacks full of spunk.
Oh, they're just pulls. Then I blew a shoe.
Yes, exactly.
They got to release.
So, for the reminder,
Release the Kraken, dude. Release the spunk.
Release the spunk, dude. Release
Just
the spunk
let it go.
everywhere. Last time we were recording, they were playing.
Yes.
Game 4.
Got on the board
Seattle
first.
scores first because, obviously.
Again?
And then they went up 2-0, and then Moose. And I was like, oh, we're dead. And then we go to OT, and dude, my boy. And Jordan Eberle, it's not fair to call my boy because, I was never an Oilers fan or anything, but I just always loved that kid, and I just wanted him to be better. There was so much promise, and he wasn't getting it, and I want nothing but good things for him now.
Yeah.
And watching him score the OT winner.
That was so much
for the-
disrespect to the Islanders, by the way. He's saying I was never an Oilers fan. I feel like he's more of an Islander.
Really? Who's drafted by the Oilers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you're right, yeah.
Actually, it's a good question. I wonder. I feel
Like
like
what
maybe
fan base
he
claims
might
him?
have exactly the same amount.
Yeah.
Can you look up Jordan Eberle, see how many years he played for Edmonton, and then how many years he played for the Islanders? Anyway, go on.
So to see him score in OT for the first ever playoff win in the crack house, the crack den,
And his first goal of the series, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
was awesome. And we just talked about how the Jets fans didn't get their glory, and I was so happy the Kraken fan, dude, by the way, sorry, listen for 1 second, but AJ's mom is going to Game 6, and she's never been to a pro hockey game in her life.
Oh, that's fucking electric.
7 years with Edmonton and 4 with the Islanders.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
He's an Oilers guy.
He's an Oilers guy.
So that was awesome. Then we go to Game 5. We're back to Colorado, and we must talk about the Sussy in a second. I want to get into all that. But we go back to Colorado. Seattle scores first again, because that's all they do. And then Nate Dogg. But then Seattle goes up. And goes up. And now, dude, I'm getting texts. I'm getting liked tweets. Spunk, spunkity, spunk, spunk, spunk. Bees texting it. Bees are fired up. Bees watching it next to the NBA games. Bees used to have two. Bees used to put the same NBA game on 2 screens. Now he's got the Kraken up there, dude.
Big spunk guy.
Yeah.
Change the name to Seattle Spunk. Let's start the petition.
We are actually we need to make that happen. Seattle Spunk is your name.
The Avs pulled one back, and there was.
Or just put. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's all right.
Subtly maybe on their shoulder patches, just put a tentacle with a little spunk coming.
Oh,
dude.
Jesus.
Just really subtle, dude. It'll just make it look like it's a splash of water.
Yeah,
it's
right.
ocean water.
Right, it's up for debate.
It's sea foam.
It's
That's all it
sea
is.
spunk. So the Avs pull one back. We got to watch it. There was a ridiculous last 2 minutes, 3 minutes there where the Avs goalie pulled. Like, they were fucking shooting gallery. And I was like, there's no way this game doesn't get tied. But it wasn't, which means that the Seattle Spunk go home with a chance to knock off the fucking champs. The spunk meter is about to fucking break. There's so much spunk
It's
going
slapping
everywhere.
the end, dude.
And dude, I have always, maybe it's this job, this podcast. When you're a fan of an NHL team, you want them to win, and you just kind of don't care about anything else. I got players I liked. I've always loved Sid, as you guys know, and I'm like, oh, if the Bees can't win, I hope the Penguins win, whatever. But I have rarely, maybe that Jaguar Ducks that Korea team.
Oh, so
that was one
fun.
team that I was like so dialed on. But this, I've rarely been this dialed on a non-Boston sports team in my life, dude. I am a full spunker.
It's yeah. I'm a spunk hound for sure.
Oh my god!
I love people in the comments being like, "Oh, UK people know."
I love that. I was like, we know too.
We
dude.
know
Like,
what we're saying.
Listen to the podcast. We're very aware of what spunk is. Dude, I want to give some stick taps to Ty Cartier. First NHL game, first NHL goal in the playoffs. That's fucking electric.
Amazing.
Also, yeah, dude. I'm all in on this team, and it feels weird because I love Nate Dogg. I love
Me too.
I love.
Dude,
actually,
I love the Avs.
I love
so
them
many
all,
Avs
dude. Like
fan
I love Nate Dogg. I love Landy. I love Kale. I love Moose. But I love Bowen Byram, my fucking boy,
he's
dude.
dope.
But how can you not root for the Seattle team? How can you not root for it?
So exciting.
A wild card win, first time in the playoffs. You've got to be full of spunk right now. If you're not full of spunk, if you're
pipe dreams for
from
the
Colorado, I get it. Otherwise, though, you got to be full of spunk.
ENG. Oh
No,
god, I thought that went in.
Didn't hit the post. Yeah. If you're not full of spunk right now, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. And my two closing arguments are two closing statements rather. One, I really think Colorado is missing Landy.
Oh my god, dude, massively.
I think when you talk about the best players on that team, I think most people are going to bring up Nate, they're going to bring up Kale, they're going to bring up Moose, and they always forget about Landy.
Dude, he actually gets shit, I would say, from a lot of Avs friends.
Yes,
God,
he does.
He's a fucking clown.
Landy is an unbelievable player, and he is the heartbeat of that team in a lot of ways, along with Nate. But he's a huge, huge leader of that team. I think missing him is terrible. And then the other one, dude, I cannot believe I didn't consider this when I picked the Avs to sweep, is Philip Grubauer in net.
Yeah.
He was on the Colorado Avalanche when they came up short the year before last. And then the Avs, clearly, when negotiating with him, didn't offer him as much as he probably wanted, and he signed with Seattle.
Well, he got scooped, right? Wasn't he one of the...
No, he signed.
Okay.
Because he signed last year, the year before last. So their first year, he signed.
I think he was one of the fantasy draft
Brian, look that up. I don't think he was...
Or it was weird. It was like an early thing. You're right. Like, I think he did sign... He was like announced
I'm
at the
fairly
draft.
certain he signed with them.
I think you're right,
I was
yeah.
like, whoa, dude, Colorado let Grubauer go?
Yeah.
And that, to me, is I'd like to come back to Colorado, and Colorado, I don't think, offered him what he wanted. And I think he went like this, all right, fine, fuck you.
And they immediately won a cup, so they were like...
Yep.
Good
and they're
day,
like, this
sir.
good decision.
But then
by
he's
us.
like...
But now Phil's in the playoffs, and he's going like this, I'm gonna tag you back.
And he's seen their shots many a time.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Brian?
A lot of
He
drill.
signed a 6-year, $35 million contract with the Kraken on July 28th, 2021.
I think you're right, but it was like right around...
No, it was,
the thing,
I mean, it was their first year. It was like during all that, but
Yeah.
like, I believe it was Colorado obviously let him go do that. They were like, yeah, we're not going to beat that offer. I believe
Yeah.
at least.
That's a
So,
great point,
yeah,
Dan.
I think
Because he's been great. He wasn't even that good this year.
Yeah.
I thought they had a ton of questions to go, but he's been fantastic. I want to talk about the Makar suspension. We put a rant on this on Twitter, so if you don't feel like listening to this, fast forward the podcast and go read the 15-tweet thread.
Yeah.
But we have some thoughts. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Here's my issue. Makar.
You know what? I don't even need to go because I'm in complete alignment
Yeah.
with you on this one. It's a tough situation, but it is what it is.
Basically, McCann gets the breakaway, a partial breakaway. Makar's up his ass. McCann shoots it. It's popped up into the netting or into the crowd. And then Makar shoves him a little bit. McCann resets. And then Makar buries him into the boards. And McCann is badly hurt. I think conky, I don't know. Upper body. It was, if the puck had been in play, which it was clearly not, it was a pretty clean hit. It was shoulder to shoulder, which is why it was called a major on the ice, reviewed, and knocked down to a minor 2 minutes interference. I stand by that on the ice because it was not clean. If this was behind, looking at his numbers, this is a completely different conversation. I feel awful for McCann. He's Seattle's best player. He had a monster year. Oh, Leafs goal. Dude, they're going to tie it.
I know they are.
Empty netter. Or, I mean, they had the goalie pulled. This
Holy
would be
fucking
the
shit, dude. I told you, no lead is safe in Tampa.
one of the
3:33
great-
left, dude.
Yeah, they pulled the goalie with 5
You
minutes
are
left.
dead. Tampa, you're dead. They're definitely it's Matthews too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is the Toronto is going to fucking explode when they tie this.
The Lightning are fucking choke
Choke
artists,
artists.
dude. What are you doing?
Look at Hedman. Do you want to fucking D up that back stick, buddy?
Like, Austin Matthews is standing right there. Hedman's got his
Also,
stick turned over.
that Killorn missed empty netter is hurting real bad
Yep.
right now.
Okay, we're going to have eyes on this as we're talking to you. But anyway, basically what I want to say is Makar is not a dirty player in his life. His argument was he thought the puck was in play, still was about to land in the corner. When you watch the highlight again, which I've done several times, you can't really hear the whistle right away. It's only after he drills McCann
Yep.
that it happens. So I genuinely believe his story. A lot of bad things happened in a row to just put McCann in a tough spot, and it's why he wasn't as ready and braced as he should have been. They reviewed it and suspended Makar, and I initially hated it. We always say, Dan, that I wish the guys that got hurt someone are out for as long as McCann is, and he's obviously not going to be because McCann's going to be out for a long time, it looks like.
Unfortunately.
But I don't hate it in hindsight because in the same way, if you're like, I thought he was going to catch that pass, and you just bury someone in the head open ice, you get suspended, dude. So, like,
Yeah.
I think as much as I believe Makar, sometimes you just got to live by the rules. End of the day, I thought it was pretty fair. I'll take the one game. Fair is fair. Play game 5
Yeah.
without your guy. I thought Colorado missed him, obviously. He's one of probably the best defensemen in the league. But
said
anyone
it.
that's calling malicious, it wasn't.
And Makar said it too. He was like, I'm not trying to hurt people.
Yep.
And you know what, Chris? I think the play is exactly how Makar described it because when you look at the way it hits McCann is just like not paying attention.
Exactly.
And Makar is still clearly engaged in the play. So it's just
And there's just, he would never do that.
so
Like,
unlucky,
it's
dude.
so insane.
And what really
If he-
blows is McCann does not get hurt that way if he were kind of locked into the play.
Dan, I swear to God, I said this to somebody. He pushes him a little bit, and McCann's ready. And then after the push, McCann stands back up because he's like, that was the end of the whistle jostling.
Yeah.
And that's why he wasn't ready. This is ridiculous.
The Leafs are going to score right here.
100%, because you just can't be giving up this puck possession. Nice out.
All right, we're going to go right into Tampa-Toronto because we're watching it. There's 2 minutes
actually
left.
perfect timing. Yep.
Yep. Tampa's up 3-2. They already gave up a goal with the goalie with Toronto's goalie pulled. It looks like Toronto might tie this again, but yeah, CP, what do you got in this series?
Well, basically, we were recording last time when they had their massive comeback.
This is the only thing new that has happened since the last time we recorded, and it's happening live.
And before this game started, I was thinking to myself that because we always talk about this, the team with more desperation is hard to beat. It's the closeout games are hard. It's hard to manufacture the desperation. And in my head, I'm like, oh no,
Oh, it was Austin too.
he would never.
He would never, and also
never.
this is going to turn into a goal because
Yeah.
of that. It makes it look swaggier. That's what he does. He's a swaggy boy.
In my head, I was like,
Oh,
well, Tampa is desperate because they know they have to win this game. Their season's on the line. They got to get it. It's hard to beat them 3 times in a row. But then I was like,
there's so much time. Toronto's definitely scoring.
But then I was like, but Toronto, and usually that team with the 3-1 lead kind of playing like they know it's not that. They got too much wiggle room that they can't get serious.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, Toronto, though, knows that if they lose this game
Oh, it's
at home and you go to Tampa, what are you winning?
Who dumped both at home and are going to be like
and had the
this-
second best home record in the league, you're going to take all 3 in Tampa? Oh, no.
Oh, that's such a bad. What are you guys
Probably
doing?
not. So if you lose this game and then you lose game 6 in Tampa, now you're in the same situation again. So I was doing that like as I was trying to figure out who actually had more desperation. I was doing the Princess Bride thing. Well, clearly,
Well, this-
I can't drink the wine in front of you because you just beat my giant. But clearly, I can't drink the wine in front of me because you just beat my swordsman. But clearly, I can't drink. I was literally lost in a loop of who is more desperate in this fucking game. So I don't know the answer. I thought the early goal was going to be massive, and I was so wrong because Toronto scored it, and I was like, wow, they're going to do it. And then they gave up a goal in 20 seconds, which was actually, I think, a dagger.
Oh, what a fucking play. Marner is so good, dude.
Yeah, he's filth. But
Pucks on net.
it is, I think,
Pucks on net.
Tampa is a championship team, dude. You don't go to that many cups in a row as a joke, as a sick joke. I was like, Jesus Christ, 200-foot goal.
Ice with 15 seconds left.
No timeouts allowed after the icing, eh?
I believe-
Toronto can call one, but Tampa can't call it.
Dude,
so
this is like
clearly
if you guys aren't watching this game, this puck possession by Toronto is absolute mastery. I mean, Tampa looks fucking destroyed.
they're gassed. Oh, Dubas, I love him. I thought the early goal was going to be huge. Wow, I don't like that timeout. Actually,
Oh, it's
You're
so
all over
stupid,
them, you know?
dude. Just keep burying them.
So
but when this is a fucking clean draw win, right to Ryan O'Reilly, over to Morgan Riley, goal.
okay,
Then,
if not, though, I'm a little. We should do a story post, but I'm a little scared if I'm the Leafs. I think
lose?
you really wanted to throat step tonight.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Of course. I think every single fan feels that way. I think every single Maple Leafs player feels that way.
Every single Leafs fan, you mean, not like as a Bees fan in that series. I'm like annoyed by that loss, but I'm like, we're fine. In this one, you're like,
Leafs fan. I mean, you guys, if you lose this game, but unfortunately, I'm telling you right now, dude. And Brian, when we cut this clip, let it be known. We can timestamp this shit because I am telling you, there's 15 seconds left. Toronto is scoring and tying this and winning in overtime. Leave it.
leave it.
It's madness in the studio.
It's
right?
madness in the studio right now. So we can edit this later, but we've got to watch these 15 seconds here.
So okay, yeah. Who's on the draw, right? Dude,
the factor.
Dude, it's O'Reilly.
Yeah.
He's going to win this draw every time.
Ooh,
Wow. Cirelli?
Yeah. If that's a chip out. Oh my God. Oh, he got it. Fuck.
That'll do
Get
it.
the puck in the zone. No, 5 seconds.
Oh, ENG.
Oh, wow.
Hey, empty netters. They all
Hey,
count.
that's an empty netter.
Hey, that's us.
So, like I said, Tampa
hey,
was going to close this game out.
What
They're
did
gonna force-
what did Vinny have? What did Vinny have? Was it 6.5? Or was it? It was 6.
Oh, I did. I took the over with him. Fuck, we blew it. Sorry,
but you hit
everybody.
the 2.5 over. Obviously, you got Tampa over 2.5. That was nice. Or Vin had that at least. That's a nice pick. So let's just talk about this real quick, Dan. Now that we know this one's done, if you want to talk about my hot take home ice thing,
Yeah, let's just shift gears.
I am fucking terrified now if I'm Toronto because I'm going back to Tampa. I
Yes.
feel like I'm going to lose. I mean, they can win anyway. They won twice. But
This isn't even. We're not even changing gears here. Like this is this is what we were just alluding to. If this happened, and yes, Tampa just won 4-2. This dude is not nightmare fuel for Toronto, but you feel very uncomfortable. That's a huge win. Tampa goes down, immediately scores, then goes up, gets a third.
second one was tough. by
And
Samsonov,
good
too.
job getting one with the goalie pulled by Toronto, but then they close it out, hold on strong in Toronto. You know that barn tonight was rocking maybe harder than they have in 10 years.
Because it's going to be stone silent in Game 7 because they're literally shitting themselves.
And now you go home and if you're Tampa, you have the added boost of like, fuck man,
look at these Leafs fans.
we humiliated ourselves at home twice. We will not do that again. So yeah, this is sketchy, dude. You are feeling very uncomfortable if you're Toronto. Couple things that I'd like to say.
Yep.
I want to just highlight how the reason we both picked Toronto in this series. The big boys, dude, the core four. Man,
What is Greg the Egg say? Does he say the core four?
I don't know.
You saw that episode?
Yeah.
Or maybe you haven't seen this episode yet.
No, I have.
Well, you know, he's like, it's like the family. He's like, it's the four of us.
Yeah.
Fuck, I gotta remember what this is. This is so funny.
Great reference.
It would have been. It's really good. Let me look it up.
These boys have grown up, dude. And like they're just performing. So leading the series, including tonight, Marner leads both teams with 2 goals, 9 assists for 11 points. Austin has 4 and 4 for 8. Ryan O'Reilly has 2 and 5 for 7. Great pickup. Willie Nylander, dude, 2 and 5, 7. Morgan Riley, 3 and 4, 7. And I'm just like, God damn, dude. The big boys are showing the fuck up, dude. And Tavares is up there too.
Yeah.
Tavares had 2 assists tonight. And I look at Tampa, and the big ones for me are Cooch has 1 and 5 for 6. I'm gonna need you to score more.
Yeah.
Pointer has 2 and 2 for 4. Get more involved, please. And the big one for me is Stammer has 1 and 2 for 3.
Yeah.
And like, dude, you are giving now, if you're Toronto not stepping on the throat tonight, you're giving
Them a chance.
them more games to wake up. That's bad. And then the funny thing I want to say is, and I think you had this too, in game 1, Toronto blows the doors off Tampa.
Yeah.
And then, Tampa blows the doors off Toronto. Sorry. Tampa blows the doors off Toronto. And Michael Bunting gets sussied for 3 games. Then Toronto goes out and wins 3 straight.
With Matty Nyes in.
Yes.
Who came straight from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And is doing something. I think
Yeah,
he's got
he's
like an
fantastic.
apple. He's like a +1 with an apple.
on the score sheet again tonight.
Oh, was he? Sick, yeah.
Bunting comes back tonight and you lose.
No, but Dan, he was available.
And they
So
didn't sell.
I even said, I was like, if you were Michael Bunting, I'm like, I respectfully remove myself from this series. And the coach, they said, they were like, Matty Nyes is staying.
Yeah,
Kid's
he's in.
earned his spot and he fucking has. But I was like, oh, they're going to make another move for Bunting. But I was like, dude,
And then they
I had
just
the
did.
same fear. And then they didn't
Yeah.
put him in. So I was going to say, Dan, the only person in all of Toronto who is happy tonight is Michael Bunting.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, they lose tonight and Bunting is like, thank God I didn't play. Because if I played and we lost, everyone's going to be like this, never play this guy
Kill
again.
Michael Bunting, dude.
But holy shit, dude. Fall from grace for Michael Bunting in Rookie of the Year contention last year, even though he's fucking 27.
Yeah.
And he's just had the weirdest year. We talked about it. He's had the strangest season. Wires crossing all over the place, gets this sussy, and now they bench him.
We'll see.
Elf bomb.
I'll be interested to see what happens. Well, I think they only bombed him because they're like, we won 3 straight with this lineup, dude. I'll be really
But that
curious
sucks,
to
dude.
see.
Like,
it sucks big time.
I mean, give me a fucking break, dude. Like, let's say Cale Makar got sussied for 3 games. I know it's a ridiculous comparison, but he gets sussied for 3 games, and if Colorado wins all 3, they're not going to go like this. Yeah, Cale, stay out.
Agree.
Like, no, dude. There is no but here. There is zero but here.
The but is if they had lost one of these last 3, if it was 2-2, I bet he's in tonight because they're like, there's no taboo about it.
Yeah, no question. But wouldn't you agree? It doesn't matter, dude. If you're a fucking player that needs to be in the game, I don't give a shit if you're fucking 3-0 or if you're 50-0.
Yeah.
You're coming back in the lineup. I think it's wild. It speaks to the fact that like they don't need you. That's kind of crazy.
Yep. Agree.
All right, our last series, we got Devils Rangers. Currently game in action right now. 6 minutes left in the third periods. Devils are up with an emphatic 3-0 lead.
Oh my God.
Huge fucking save right there by Akira. I'm not going to do the Ahsoka thing.
Get on board, dude.
I will not. That's
Get
yours.
on board.
That's all yours. Okay, dude, here's the
Watch
deal.
this, Bri. Watch this. Watch. Post across the goal line.
Holla is having a game,
Yeah.
dude. I did not expect this. We are back in New Jersey. New Jersey got tallywhacked 5-1 in both games in New Jersey, but that was with Vitek Vanisiv. And now
It's a great nickname.
ricochet shot.
Oh my God.
And Ahsoka Schmidt is in net now and is pitching a shutout currently. It looks like the Devils are going to close this out, so that's how I'm going to approach this. Dude, the Rangers played like dog doo-doo in Game 4.
Yes.
I thought Game 3 was a pretty straight-up game. We talked last episode, dude, and we even posted the clip. I said the Rangers have been frustrating the Devils. Regardless of their 2 wins on the road, they've been frustrating the Devils. They're not letting these young little water bugs rip around the ice, get shots on net. And, dude, they came in this game and they just stopped playing physical with them.
Yep.
The physical game has been completely absent from this matchup here. New Jersey is all over the fucking ice, and they're just buzzing, dude, and they're fucking burying the puck. They're getting unbelievable chances.
Tons of chances.
Eric Hall is having a great game. They have the most shots in a game they've had by far in this game, and they're singing a tune of 3-0 right now with 5:50 left. You are
35 shots so far, dude.
surprisingly, New Jersey has stolen back home ice here, and this is wild. Holy moly. How the ice has tilted and how the vibes have tilted in this series.
I said I wouldn't be shocked at all. So to bury the to get ahead of myself, I think this is still going 7. I thought it was going to go 7. I think it's still going 7. I had said earlier before we started recording, I wouldn't be shocked at all if this went 7 with 6 road wins, maybe even 7, but to get there, because it just felt like it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. The Rangers are pissed off after the way they played in MSG. Here they come to beat the Devils on the road. Then you go back to New York and the Devils are desperate. They win, and now we're in game 7.
Yep.
Certainly, it looks like if we're going to get my 7 call, the home teams will hold serve here back and forth. And I'm weirdly not that shocked about that too, because like we were just saying with Tampa, you don't want to dump all 3 at home, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I'm not. It's believable to me the Devils came out here and won this game. What I am shocked by is the fashion in which they won it.
Agree. It's been a completely different game, right? That's what's weird. I'm not shocked. Not to just regurgitate what you said, I'm not shocked that the Devils got this game. But yes, dude, if you're New York and you look at the way you won the first 2 games and kept it close in game 3,
yeah,
and to an extent in game 4, dude, I can't believe they're playing this way. I cannot believe you come out and you let the Devils play the game they want to play. That's why this game is the way it is right now.
Brian had said something to us while we were recording. If you end up putting that in, leave it, and you can cut this. But if that's cut because it was just some downtime, then just leave this. He said to us, "What's wrong with the Rangers?" And I said, "Nothing. They've been a little sloppy. They're playing a little slow. But the problem is Ahsoka Tano in goal. Our men's league goalie, before the playoffs started, hit me up and was like, yo, the Devil," I was like bitching about VTech, and he was like, "The Devils have this kid who's nasty who they should play." And I was like, I've never even heard of that guy. Like, straight up, I've never even heard his name.
Yeah.
And then he came out to me, we played last night, and he walked up to me and he's like, "Dude, what do you think about your boy?" And I was like,
yeah.
Bro, he is completely changed. He's got, I think it just came up, he has 81 saves or something. He is in that, he's a white man can't jump to. I'm in a fucking zone, man.
No doubt.
I'm in a fucking zone. And
unless
they can get a few past him, they are fucked.
I think that's going to be very helpful, and I think they will. A big thing for me, Chris, is, dude, I feel like people don't realize. I mean, hockey players are so locked in, dude. These guys watch game tape. They do their research. They check the game notes. You have no game tape on Schmidt. Mm-hmm. You have nothing. So all of a sudden, this kid comes in.
Nothing.
Yeah. This guy comes in. He's really got no mixtape in the NHL to show for. So he's just balling out, dude. And these guys, you don't really know where to shoot on him. You don't know how to approach this situation.
That go in?
Yeah.
Bang. ENG.
Wow.
They all count.
Empty netter.
Dude, easy though. I had under
move by
under
Gallant.
5.5. Take it easy, boys.
Gallant yanking the goalie with over 5 minutes left.
Hall again. He's having a monster.
Yeah,
series.
Eric Hall, a huge series, huge game. That's big. But yeah, dude, I mean, Ahsoka is the X factor.
Yep.
He is the
100%.
What has changed, right? What has changed since game 2? It's Ahsoka.
I think last record we said the difference in the Dallas-Minnesota series is literally the Dallas power play. That's it. I know Otter's been amazing. I know Gus stole a game, Otter stole a game, whatever. Mm-hmm. The difference in that series, end of discussion, is the Dallas power play. The difference in this series, end of discussion, is Ahsoka.
Dude, that shot by Hala right there is such an NHL.
Correct.
You're standing in the middle of the ice with the puck on your stick. You've got time. Just shoot the puck fucking 150 feet and score.
Here are my game notes for the boys on this, and I'll edit in real time based on what has happened tonight. But coming into this game,
I've got some game notes for you too.
Kreider had 6 points in what? It'd been 4 games, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Kreider had 6. Kane had 6. Foxy had 6.
Yep.
Bad Vlad 2 tucks. That's it, but 2 tucks. For me, bro, and the Rangers have no fucking points in this game, so this is still accurate. Panarin, 2 assists in 4 games. Zeba, 2 assists in 4 games.
Yeah. Where are you?
The Zeba one is the real big missing piece for me. In their runs recently, he's been, dude, like it felt like every time Kreider passed the puck across the ice, Zeba was unloading a 1T under the bar or like going bar down on the backhand against Vasi. Those 2 guys, if they're going to force a game 7, let alone win this series, you're really counting on those guys if you're Rags fans.
No doubt.
But the Devils, unless you want to talk.
I was just gonna, yeah. I mean, you can go into the gooses, but Jack Hughes has 3 goals and 0 assists, like truly putting the team on his fucking back.
But what's crazy is that's the most points on the team coming into tonight.
Yeah,
3 points.
I think Hala's got
he's got to have more now.
He's got a 3 or 4 point game going for him. But the big ones, dude, are the dashes, dude. Timo, 0s across the board, and his dash 1. Tatar, 0s across the board, his dash 2.
I don't know what they did tonight,
again,
but yeah.
This is not counting Thursday night's games, But that is one where you feel real bad if you're New York and those guys are as quiet as they are, and this series is tied 2-2, and now you're down 3-2.
Do
You feel real bad.
Yes. Do you think I had Devils in 7, right? And obviously I'm feeling better than if it was 3-2 Rangers right now. But this young Devils team that has no playoff experience is about to learn very quickly that the fourth one is the hardest one by a fucking mile.
Yes.
This is far from over.
Yes.
Far, far, far from over. What do you think, Dan? Do you think 7 for sure? Or are you like, no?
No, I don't think 7 for sure, because this series has changed in such a big way. The Devils found a way to play their game. They've got the X factor in net. You're going to MSG where you have 2 wins. I think the Rangers have that vibe of we are not losing all 3 at home.
That's me too.
And I think that's what makes it go 7. But if you're the Devils, that factor doesn't bother you that much. So you go into that game going, we can win here. So let's do it. But dude, this has been the biggest flop, and the flip flop rather. And I think the first person who would tell you they're not surprised by this is New York Rangers fans. Because
wait, what do you mean?
Dude, the Rangers have been the biggest trick or treat team all season long.
Yeah.
They are for as good as they are with how many points they finished with this season, they would go out and blow the doors off teams, and then they would lay a complete fucking egg and get piss pumped by teams.
Yep.
And like, here we are, dude. You put the entire NHL on notice in games 1 and 2, and you look like a floppy dick now in 3 straight games.
Morale very low for the Rags fans in the office.
And I'm telling you, I think Rangers fans will listen to this and slide into the DMs and be like, "This, yes, dude, this is not surprising."
It is. What did you say? You were talking Kings Oilers, where you go if the Kings lose in 6, they go, "God damn the format," right? And I said, dude, when I picked Devils in 7, I said, no, that's no shot to the Rangers. It's just credit to the Devils. I think this Rangers team could win the fucking cup.
Yep.
I just think this is a brutal first-round matchup that could have been an Eastern Conference Finals matchup, and someone had to lose.
Yep.
Again, it's far from over, but it's like the Kings Game 4 thing. You're just kicking yourself. Dude, taking the first 2 in Jersey, oh, bro, being down 3-2 now is just such a killer.
Yep.
Like, holy shit.
Before we go, quick shout out to our boys over at Hockey Recap. Their Instagram, hockey.recap. Give it a follow. They are doing an awesome little giveaway that we want to give a shout out to. Do you want to win 20 free hockey sticks for you and your team? Of course you do. The Hockey Recap newsletter is partnered with ProStockHockey.com to award one lucky winner up to 20 free hockey sticks for their team. All you have to do is enter. You hit the link on their Instagram page with an email address. It couldn't be easier. If you win, you'll have your choice of 20 Senior Pro hockey sticks from Pro Stock Hockey, including up to 2 goalie sticks and a free personalized any twig that's eligible, or 20 youth, junior, or intermediate sticks from Pro Stock Hockey, Future Pro collection, free personalized on the sticks that are included. Listen, if you want to be the hero of your adult league, go to Hockey Recap, enter this competition. All you got to do is put an email address. Easy way to get 20 twigs.
Easy move, boys. I wish I could do it. I might do it. I might enter 15 times under an alias. Great follow, by the way. Hockey
Great
Recap.
follow. All right, that is it for this episode. Unbelievable action tonight. Unbelievable action all week. Cannot wait for the Friday night and weekend games.
Gonna be monster weekend. Don't forget, everybody, skate hard.
Skate hard.